Good morning, guys. Welcome back to iPunt Smart. For those that played the bipod yesterday, well done. A 19-1 ticket, including me. 19,000 for 1,000 on the bipod yesterday. Today we're going to Scottsville. The weather conditions is good. It's apparently quite warm up there. There's only been 1 millimeter of rain in the last 7 days. In the first, we have a lot of Michael Miller, and one of them has been scratched now. So Civil Rights is my first choice. Countess Cartier, my second choice. Then Dance My Lord, Michael Robertson and Wright, my third choice. And then there's Heart Seas, that could be anything now coming back for Dean Cunningham. Demigod on debut, that also could be anything out for Gavin van Sale. Also note he's now got blinkers as well. And then there's quite a lot of money for Silvery Blue as well. So I've gone 1, 5, 9, 10 in my bipot with the bigger bipot 8 and 12. The Dean Cunningham comments was pretty good about Heart Seas, including it for all exotics. But if it's not raced before, we are guessing a little bit. So that's the problem with that kind of thing. And now that Gavin van Sales put blinkers on all his horses 10 minutes before the start of the race, it's just showing you how they just turn it into an even more unfair proposition. Race 2. Here we have a greenie in the form of Kimura. But I also note that Golf Puller has got two decent runners in race 2 and race 3. When I do look at Kimura, though, I honestly think that it is worthy of being a greenie because the bat figures here is 7 lengths better than Clito, Gareth van Sale, and Agrella now wearing blinkers for the first time, and Garth Puller 9.49 lengths away from Kimura on the bat figures on Cafe Pacifica. So I've gone to a banker in my smaller bipot, and I've added 10 and 14 in my bigger bipot. And I think one of those three is most definitely supposed to be the winner. For fourth, Masango Machine. Muscat's got a few decent runners, and then Donovan Dillon is probably the rider with the best rides for the day. But do note that Golf Puller could be trying to pull the double on Cafe Pacifica and the next race. So I do have a little bit of respect for Cafe Pacifica as well as for Clito in this race. So 2, 10 and 14 I think should be enough. I have no idea what the Ice Captain first timer for Andre Nel is. It does pop up on best stat form, best intent as well, which does make you a little bit worried. Masanga Machine showed a little bit of improvement and has the second best bat 42 form on the last run. And then Northern Warrior, Michael Roberts, another trainer that has a few that pops up in the top 4, top 5 rankings. So also should be respected. The favorite in this case, Trumpet Voluntary, not favorite, second favorite, 3.5, Mark Dixon and Ashton Aris, does have the best adjusted time, but the bat figures doesn't support it. So only got in at 6th, Freedom Dancer 7th, and Ice Captain the first timer 8th. I only do 8 stars in each race. In the third race, I've gone with Water Splash, Michael Robertson, Garth Wright here as my first choice, and here's the Guananza, Garth Puller and Jabu Jacobs second choice. Very little between these 1 and 9. My third choice, Lazan Forbes, has only got 1 for the day, and interesting to note, it does have stable change, it does have Appy claim, it does have best exotic ranking, it does have best statistical form, it does have decent bat figures before it returns from the rest. So all of that considered, it must have a chance. If it comes back better, Lazan's Forbes only runner for the day, so probably did a bit of work on it. And then Blanchetta, another one, the exact course and distance bat CD is the best on 3.46 here, so also has to be respected. I've gone 1943, and I think the exotics is going to pay a bit again today. I've also taken a chance to go only 1943 in my pick 6 in the first leg, because I've tried to put the pick 6 into perspective by making some smaller perms. If you can take a 1% on that, it's not too bad. 16 Rand times 5 is 80, times 2467 is 560, it's 1680 times 3, that's 4980. So I actually kept it just below the 5,000 on the small perm. In the fourth race, I do quite like the chances here of Big Sky Country at 5.75 is a nice little price to it. and does have some nice bat figures, 35% on the T curve, and does have some decent form best bat figures as well. The second and third bats, 3.08 and 3.1, is very close, hugs accepted, and she's a keeper. So what I've done here is 10, 6, 7, and 8. Brunilda being the golf puller, golf right with the best median speed, and a -5 on the exact course and distance. Bat CD was something that really popped up that I have to listen to. 10, 6, 7, 8, the bigger perm, I added 2 and 1. And 2 and 1 being the two Justin Snaith runners, and Justin Snaith's only race for the day, Alps Flaming Beauty and Mazan. And they've got some hidden form on the back here, 4.16 and 4.54, being quite close to these threes. So, yeah, got a bit of respect for that. And the pick 16, 6, 7, 8, 2, and 1. In the fifth race, my fifth race, I have gone with Color of Light, that I quite fancy as well. Duncan Howells and Gumede, and both have got flames. The tongue tie has been taken off, and only the blinkers is fitted now this time. And best T curve, best intent, 50% chance to win on intent, and 67% on exotic ranking. So that's 4 out of 6 on the 6P stats that we have, which is also quite pretty good, I have to admit. So Color of Light is something I actually quite do fancy, the number 5. And the 10 and 11 is Her Royal Majesty. Governor's only got 2 for the day, 10 to 1 with the highest bat, course, and distance. Bat C, and also has the best median speed. Yeah, 17% chance to win. So I've gone with 5, 10, and 11. The other Yoga's Governor runner. And that's another interesting runner because it pops up here on the very best bat 84 figure 1.19 and bat 168 figure 1.919. So 5, 10, and 11 is my choices on the smaller side here. And then I've added 6 and 2. Hello Tomorrow, Muscat and Jacobs, they've been doing well together. And the stats also good, adjusted time 33%, speed rating 50% to win, and bat 42, 33% chance to win. So that is my next choice. And the 2 Matadorus Parade, Patrick Lunn and Raymond Danielson, also has some hidden figures on the 4.4 bats here, and popped up here with best super rule percentage, a 60% chance to win as well. So 5, 10, 11, 6, 2 in my small pick 6. And then in the bigger pick 6, I do think this is quite a tough race. It's a Fillies and Mares 68, so I've added the 1 and the 8 and the 3. Soiri with Astute Vision and Just Adore Her. Only the Sawyer again with my Donovan Dillon. I think he's going to be the most lucrative jockey on the day. And Astute Vision, Timmy Prinsloo, 30 to 1. But 30 to 1 does appeal to me, given that the 30 to 1 is also the best bomb roll curve and the best exact course and distance bat CD. So interesting to note that that pops up in the rankings. And if he wins, then of course the exotics is going to be a bomb. The last one, yeah, there's that's the top 8. The 8 stars has done very well on the quartets of late, and even Roving Banking, the first one with the rest as boxed, also has done really well. In the last race of the bipot, again looking at a really tough race, Fillies and Mares again, and the Fillies are doing anything, so they can definitely upset on the best of days. I've gone with Peter with Purple Persuasion here, and I've gone with Donovan Dillon to close off the meeting races 6, 7, and 8. We start off with Purple Persuasion here, a nice 6.25, best adjusted time, best exotic ranking, best speed rating, best form, best stat form. I think all of that is a lovely combination, and given the fact that it's the first of my flames, which is Muscat and Dillon. For second, I do think that Kanemayer might also be trying the double. So I've gone with Silver Magic, which is the top T curve, and I've been proven wrong so many times when the top T curve does actually win. So that I have to go do that. And then the best on overall ranking, Conchita. Definitely up for some more improvement. Only on his fourth run to date. Does take the 2.5 off, which only gives him 51 kilos. Does have the highest on the greenie points as well. And that does suggest that his back figures is 7 lengths better than the rest of the field. At 8 to 1 is really at 8 to 1 is really decent, but the P stats doesn't support it, with only 10% or 1 out of 10 of the winners coming from the best bat 42. So that's why I've only put him in third. And then it doesn't stop there. I don't think it does. Jackson Wells, Mark Dixon, and Ashton Harris has some decent bat figures, the second highest and the best super rule percentage as well. Sacred Blues, again a Garth Puller horse with straight on 2.5 kilos and got the flames and got the highest on intent. And Sea Venture, Gavin Van Sale and Danielson. Van Sale's only got the 3 for the day. Looks like a bit of an intent booking for Danielson coming back from a rest. And then Mark Dixon and Magudalwa on She's a Dream, median speed 20% to win, which with the 20% on stat form for Purple Persuasion is joint highest, and Conchita also gets 20% here. So those 3 joint highest on the percentages for P-stats. Only 10 races, so not that many. But all of that being said, it does look like a tough race this. So I've gone 4, 2, 8, 9, 1, 6, and I've added the 3, and the 3 doesn't pop up in the ratings very much. But I looked at the Scottsville form, and the Scottsville form is really good. When you take all the gravel polyform out of it, then the Scottsville, the actual track form, does look really decent. So I've added him in what I believe is quite a tough little race. Alfonso Baby, She's a Dream, they both have chances as well. She's a Dream pops up here as best exact course and distance, median speed, and the best median speed. So Come With a Reason is one of the older ones, as you can see there with the old button. That means older than the field average. So all in all, a really tough race to get through. Race 7. Donovan Dillon is, I think the reason why Donovan Dillon is at Scottsville is Socrates. He does pop up really nice on the rankings, and everything in order looks really decent. 40% on median speed and 40% on total T-curve to win. But in saying that, 50% on exact course and distance bat CD also. And that's why we actually won the bipod yesterday, because in the first race we had one that showed 50% to win on the Spies runner, and everyone else fell through the bipod, and we carried on smiling. So I have gone with 1, 8, and 5 in my PA: Socrates, William Land, and Sniper Shot, Paul Lafferty. Now, if I look at Paul Lafferty, I said earlier Paul Lafferty's got a really good chance in Big Sky Country, and that's Danielson with Big Sky Country. And here he's got the 2 Stradom and Gumeres in here, where Gavin then Danielson goes on to Guru's Pride. So trying to decipher the puzzle, Lafferty does bring the 2 in here. I think he should have a little bit of a chance to get his double as well, and they both popped in the rating. So 185 is my PA choices, and 185 is my pick 6 choices. Today is the 7th race where I'm going low on the exotics picks, and that's purely because this is a merit rated 98 event. Now, to get to a merit rated 98 event, the horses needs to be pretty darn decent to get to that kind of merit rating. And when I look at the merit ratings of this specific race, then these horses are pretty darn great. There's the hundreds on Socrates, and there's in the 90s on Williams Land, and there's 90s and hundreds on Sniper Shot. Same with Generous Lady, Tread Swiftly, Guru's Pride, and then it goes down to 80s on Desolate Road. Georgina Rose has got 90s as well. Celebration Rock has got 80s. So what I'm trying to say is, I think to reach this kind of a merit rating, you have to be quite consistent and quite good. And therefore, I don't believe this is the kind of race where the bombs is going to fall, even though it's the last leg of the jackpot. And that's why I rather loaded up on the last leg of the bipod, which is also in the pick 6 and also in the PA and also in the second and first jackpot. So Yeah, I'm hoping that this is a form result, and that's why I've only gone those three in my bipod, as well as in my PA and my pick 6, 1, 8, and 5. And then we get to the last race of the day, and East Coast Star is the big, huge favorite. And the the bat figures doesn't really suggest it to be that kind of a huge favorite. A 10.1 on the bat 42 is not as good as Killy's Fate on a 7.38 on a bat 84. Now that wasn't really what pulled my attention, because that's only a 4% on bat 84, but the top rated to finish first in 28 P-Stat races on Greenie points is 31%, and that's shared by East Coast Star and Killy's Fate. So I've taken a chance in the PA. I've only gone 8-2 in my PA. Yeah. And then in my pick 6, I've looked at quite a nice little interesting runner, Love of London, as well. Now, Love of London has done really good when he was in the Vol. He actually pulled up the best adjusted time in the Vol, and that's over grass. His last two runs was on the poly, and now he gets back to the grass, and he's tried his last two on the 14 and 1600, and now he is moving over to back to the grass, where he got that best adjusted time, and where he got this 11:43 on the bat figure. So I think he's a bit of a roughie with Tini Prinsloo, and straight on taking the 2.5 off, and on top of that, did fit the blinkers the last time. It didn't work out. 38.96 is clearly terrible bats, but without the blinkers, he did the 11:43 on the grass, and now he's got without the blinkers again. So Love of London does have a little bit of an appeal to me, so I've included him in my pick 6, and my fourth choice I've added was Global Appeal with Gareth Van Sale as the best speed rating and super rule percentage in the race. There's more that has a chance here, I have to say. I think Hatta is not out of it. Purely 11.78 is all in there with the bat figures after the 4 kilo claim from Zuma, but I've neglected to add him purely because he's only got a 5.56% chance to win for Michael Roberts. And he's only winning 2.59% of his life. So he does do better for Michael Roberts. So it's a little bit of an intent booking with the 55 kilos on the back, and the improvement to be expected since Michael Roberts has quite a few decent runners on the day. So he could pop up at any price. And then Racy Stacey could also, with the flames here on both sides, could also be much better coming back from the rest, but hasn't showed all that much. Showed more on the grass on the 13.28, but clearly the 13.28 is worse than the 11.43, and I have to stop somewhere. So I only tried to keep the pick 6, a small one, below 5,000, and I left out things like Hatter and Racy Stacey and Regina's Angel that also did really well on debut, considering 12.24 is decent on debut, and now gets the further 2.5 kilos off, so could be a bit of a lurker as well. And Kind Judy could potentially be the Michael Miller double attempt, because of all the Michael Miller runners, I believe that Ashton Aries has the way better chance in the first on Civil Rights as my first choice there. Okay, guys, that is it from me. Just looking at the JTR detail sheets here, you can see the Civil Rights is quite nicely on the 2.5, because the next one is only 3.4. And then moving further, you can see Tony Rivaland, why he's my best bet for the day at 2.55 is the best. And the second best only goes at 4.34 on Cleto. And then after Cleto is a 4.39, Golf Puller and Cafe Pacifica. So I do quite like the chances of Tony Rivaland here. And then moving on, a 3.85 here on Michael Boosters as What a Splash, but it's quite close for the rest as well, because there's a 4.14 on Lucy Lou and 4.04 on Kunenza. So that's pretty close as well. Then in this race, Lafferty and Muscat 3.28 and 3.32 is way better than the next best, which goes up to a 4.9 on Golf Puller and Brunilda. There's a 4.68 on She's a Keeper as well. So I try and look at these averages to just try and structure the exotics quite well. This you can clearly see is one of the open races because yeah, Duncan Howell's Color of Light 3.54 and then 4.04 on Yoga's Governor. The sixth race is a little bit of a tricky one because there's a 3.7 and a 4.5 and a 3.7 and a 3.68. So quite a few with very close together. And then the seventh race 3.68, 2.42, 3.82 and 4.5 on Tread Swiftly, which is also thereabouts very much. So maybe Tread Swiftly is is the fourth choice. So maybe I should add him as well in the exotics 185 and add the 2 for Tread Swiftly. And in the last race, the 8 and the 2 looked pretty decent for me. Achilles Fate 4.08 and 3.07 on East Coast Star, and then the next one is the 4.64 on the 22-1 Shot Love of London, which is also quite close to the rest. So all in all, a bit of a tricky affair, and we do hope you enjoy your day and be safe out there. I think I might just be nibbling on the second race today and maybe on the Humvee only runner for Dylan. Have a great day.